It's interesting you call it a rebirth. I suppose it is a rebirth. I mean, house music never went away, but I guess those labels that you mentioned have been grouped together and are having a really exciting time with lots of people, I think, lots of young people getting on board with the music, and I think that's essentially what's really good about it, is that lots of new people, and young people especially, are jumping on and getting into house music. And some of the music those labels are doing is just absolutely fantastic. You know, it's the production's really good, the ideas in it are really interesting. There's a lot of music in it, a lot of melody, a lot of vocals, and all that stuff I love. So I'm really happy about that. Well, nothing totally disappears, does it? I mean, house has been around ever since disco. I mean, everything, all those sort of musics really came from disco. So, in order to get house music, you have to sort of get disco, if you know what I mean. Dubstep, I suppose, is a different matter, and I'm no expert on that. That has a vibrant young audience. And they sort of like to isolate themselves in a massive group nonetheless, and I think that when they get older, that music will develop into something else. It sort of reminds me when I was a teenager listening to jungle and drum and bass in the UK. It was really exciting. It felt like a totally new music. I think for us it really was, and that sort of progressed into, I think, a bit of what's happening now with what they call the bass scene in Bristol, with house music, with kind of those kind of drum and bass drops and bass lines and stuff. So things just evolve, they just move on, they never really go away. I haven't been there for 5 weeks. As far as I know, when I left, you know, it's really good. I mean, London's a big place, and there's lots of people making great music, putting on good parties. It's a good scene. You still have to know where to look. It's like anywhere, you know. If you just to turn up in the middle of London and go to a party in the hope that it would be the coolest thing you'd ever seen, you might be disappointed. But there's a really healthy sort of warehouse scene. Some really good underground parties. I mean, it's a great place to go out if you want to party. Yeah. Revolutionary is a strong word, so I won't use that directly, but there are people, well, I don't think I'm in a position to say what's revolutionary and what isn't, but for example, someone I'd mention is Bicep. What they're doing definitely isn't revolutionary, but it is taking something, taking music from say the 90s, something that people really maybe didn't get the first time around, or have a massive nostalgia for. They've brought that music, and I'm talking about Chicago, sort of that combined Chicago garage house. They sort of brought that to the fore. So there's someone I definitely say we're worth talking about, and also Wolf music, and in particular Grey Matter. I just happen to know the way he produces. He actually puts all these songs together and then does the arrangement as a live take. So it's almost like how you might do an improvisational jazz piece or something, but with a controller and Ableton. And his live shows that. It's basically just performing the whole arrangement of his tracks live. And for me, that's something I don't do, and I haven't seen anyone else do like that. So I suppose this is the closest thing I can think of right now.
I knew just what it had to be when I heard you say what you said to me. Baby, do inside. Look like you're working up an appetite for the night.
This is my first time in Brazil, and I'm shocked to say I can't think of any right now. But I am terrible with names. In fact, there was some guys you mentioned, and I had heard of them, but and I probably bought music from them. But yeah, I'm gonna be on the case to find some more Brazilian producers after this trip.
I knew just what it had to be when I heard you say what you said to me. Baby, do inside. Look like you're working up an appetite for the night. Yeah, get by then I just sat at the back, peeping you out the way you act. Give a string at that. Getting out of line, I'm yanking you back in your place. Oh, all is well.